Hi everyone, today let's watch a video about the special things of the Rolls-Royce Car Workshop. The home of Rolls-Royce at Goodwood in West Sussex is the only place in the world where Rolls-Royce motor cars, Spectre, Cullinan, Ghost, their black badge counterparts, Phantom, and Coach build masterpieces, are designed and built by hand. No two motor cars are entirely alike. Every Rolls-Royce is handcrafted to the client's individual taste. It takes more than 600 hours to build a Rolls-Royce motor car. Complex commissions can take up to 4 years to develop and construct. These cherished and enduring motor cars will go on to form part of celebrated collections and frequently stay within the same family for generations. Indeed, around 2/3 of all Rolls-Royce motor cars ever built are still on the road.
Every Rolls-Royce begins its journey in the exterior surface center, where the signature Rolls-Royce paint finish is created. Clients can choose from a palette of 44,000 exterior colors, and if they prefer a hue that does not exist within that range, the Rolls-Royce Bespoke Collective can develop a new bespoke color that will then be reserved for the client's exclusive use. Rolls-Royce specialists have previously color-matched clients' favorite flowers, a beloved pet's eyes, precious jewels and antique items to name only a few sources of inspiration. The Bespoke Collective has also developed unique iridescent finishes inspired by the aurora borealis, the farthest reaches of space, specific oceans, and colors that capture the flora and fauna of destinations around the world, which have a personal meaning to the commissioning client. Specially developed bespoke colors often influence how clients curate their other precious possessions. For example, some clients have requested that their yachts and private jets are color-matched to their Rolls-Royce. Depending on the complexity of the paint, the finish may require up to 20 individual layers of lacquer. To achieve the signature piano finish, a Rolls-Royce is hand-polished to brilliance over 4 hours. The selected paint color can also be complemented with a crystal lacquer with iridescent shimmer, adding depth and luster to the color. Clients can commission unique artworks on the bonnet or a coach line, hand-applied by a skilled team of artisans. A coach line is applied by hand using a fine brush made from natural materials. The coach line is precisely 3 mm wide on Phantom, Cullinan and Ghost, and 4 mm wide on Spectre due to its particular proportions. The exterior can be complemented with a unique coach line motif, a small artwork such as a flower, a family crest, or a geometric pattern. Bespoke in coach line. A coach line is more than just a simple straight line. With Rolls-Royce's Bespoke program, customers can request unique designs to highlight their personality. Some notable examples. Intricate design. On the Maharaja Phantom Drophead Coupe, the turquoise coach line is decorated with an elaborate peacock emblem. On the 1001 Nights Ghost collection, the coach line features intricate Arabic calligraphy. In some special cases, Mark Court has been sent by Rolls-Royce to paint the coach line for customers after the car has left the factory. A famous story is that in 2012, Mark flew to Dubai to paint the coach line for a VIP customer. This event has become legendary in the automotive industry and was captured in a short film by Rolls-Royce. Mark Court's work requires a high level of concentration and a strong mentality. He once told CNN that he dares not think about the value of the car or the identity of the owner, usually a billionaire, a royal, or a celebrity, because it can distract him. Mark rarely takes time off, because even a weekend can disrupt his concentration, forcing him to reacquaint himself with the job when he returns. Mark also emphasized, "It's just another car to me. If you start worrying about who owns it or where it's going, it will affect your mind. You just have to learn to turn it off and do what needs to be done." Because of the nature of the job, finding a successor for Mark Court has been a big challenge. As of 2015, Mark was still looking for an apprentice. His son, Ashley Court, was trained to take over, but Ashley later decided to move to work in the Rolls-Royce wood shop. To this day, Mark remains the only person to have done this, and he once said, "Time waits for no one, I'm not getting any younger." This shows the scarcity of artisans who can meet Rolls-Royce's exacting requirements. The coach line is not just a decorative detail, but also a symbol of Rolls-Royce's uncompromising craftsmanship and quality. Each line is Mark Court's personal touch, and a testament to the company's philosophy. "Strive for perfection in everything you do," as co-founder Sir Henry Royce said. For customers, the coach line is a way to assert exclusivity and class, especially when they are willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars more for this option. Some sources say that the cost of painting a coach line can be as high as $70,000, around 70 Indian rupees lakh, but this figure can vary depending on the complexity of the design. Unlike other car manufacturers that may use machines or tape to create the line, Rolls-Royce is determined to keep the coach line handcrafted, even if it increases the cost and risk. This reflects the brand's commitment to maintaining its artisanal traditions, while also differentiating itself from competitors like Bentley or Maybach. For example, while Bentley does offer personalization options, it does not have a dedicated artist like Mark Court to hand-paint the coach line on every car. While the coach line is a unique feature, it has its critics. Some argue that spending tens of thousands of dollars on a thin line is unreasonable, especially when modern technology can replicate the same effect at a lower cost. However, for Rolls-Royce customers, those who seek exclusivity and are willing to pay a premium for their status, the coach line is an irreplaceable value. Rolls-Royce's maintenance of manual methods in the context of current industrialization is also a way to preserve heritage and differentiate itself in the super-luxury car market. Each hide that arrives at Rolls-Royce is examined by hand and eye under high-intensity lighting to reveal imperfections. Areas deemed unsuitable for use are marked with chalk. The marked hide is placed under a cutting machine where an outline of each part required to construct the interior is laser projected onto the material and then cut. A special algorithm was developed to analyze the chalked areas and generate a pattern excluding the marked areas. Artisans manually adjust and further perfect the cutting pattern to maximize the use of leather, excluding the marked areas. Each leather part is thinned or skived to reduce its thickness from around 1.5 mm to 0.6 mm, enabling a smaller, neater seam. Leather parts are sewn by skilled craftspeople by hand using high-precision sewing machines, and are completed with contrast stitching or piping, depending on the client's request. Finally, the leather parts are fitted to a component, a task which can only be done by hand, due to the curves and contours of these parts. can request that leather seats include placed perforation, artworks created through tiny perforations in the leather which vary in size to create the perception of depth, allowing detailed and seemingly three-dimensional graphics to be achieved. This innovative, contemporary craft technique was first developed for a bespoke commission before being made more widely available with Cullinan Series 2 and Ghost Series 2 in 2024, when designers developed a pattern inspired by the shapes and shadows of the clouds over the home of Rolls-Royce at Goodwood. It comprises up to 107,000 0.8 and 1.2 mm perforations. Clients can also commission a bespoke placed perforation motif, which is then reserved for their exclusive use. In its Goodwood era, Rolls-Royce began exploring the use of textiles in 2015 during the development of Phantom Serenity, which used embroidered silk for the interior. Since then, a number of materials have been used, including rayon fabric made from bamboo, silk blends and even glass organza. For Cullinan Series 2 and Ghost Series 2, a fabric interior is now available as a petit-quarter offer. For these motor cars, Rolls-Royce specialists developed a rayon fabric made from bamboo named Duality Twill. It is embroidered with an artistic duality graphic, based on an abstract interpretation of the two interlinked are initials of the marque's founders. A duality twill interior can incorporate up to 2.2 million stitches requiring 11 miles of thread, and is the product of 20 hours of construction. To ensure uniformity in the pattern, each piece is individually crafted before being cut using a specially developed laser that seals the material's edge and mitigates individual threads becoming loose. Once all panels are carefully positioned and stitched together to create a seamless whole, they are used to upholster the seating. The base twill textile is available in 3 colors, lilac, chocolate, and black, and the thread is available in 51 different hues, allowing clients to tailor their design according to their personal preference, creating a bold contrasting effect or a subtle monochrome. Clients are offered near-limitless opportunities to create complex works of art using their interior as a canvas. From their initials applied to the headrests to million-stitch embroidery depicting the surface of the moon, bespoke embossed graphics, hand-painted artworks using leather as a canvas and even three-dimensional embroidery, the possibilities are limited only by the client's imagination. Clients are able to commission not only leather, but fabric interiors as well, recalling the early years of Rolls-Royce, where passenger seats were upholstered with various precious textiles. Many of the processes used today blend cutting-edge precision machinery with the skilled hands and experienced eyes of Rolls-Royce craftspeople. For many years, the Interior Surface Center was known simply as the Woodshop. Its current designation reflects the major changes that this department has undergone in recent years. Wood remains its primary medium, but the specialist craftspeople are also skilled in working with carbon fiber, metal, and a diverse range of lacquered, painted and embellished, hard surface finishes. The visible wood elements in a Rolls-Royce motor car are made using veneers, thin sheets of wood that are bonded to a substructure. All veneer parts used in any single motor car come from the same tree, with colors, patterns, and grains that give the motor car its own unique fingerprint that cannot be precisely replicated again. This also ensures all wood parts age consistently, an important consideration, as many Rolls-Royce motor cars are lovingly handed down through the generations. Clients can select from around 30 different wood types, with different stains, overlays, and treatments offering a wide range of additional effects. Clients can also ask Rolls-Royce to source a different tree species, which may have a particular personal resonance to them, so long as the species is not restricted or endangered. On arrival at the home of Rolls-Royce, all veneers are transferred to the richly scented humidor, where they are stored for a minimum of 3 days at a constant 23 degrees Celsius and 75% humidity. Humidity is essential to prevent the wood from cracking and to keep it flexible enough to take the complex forms for which Rolls-Royce wood components are renowned. Almost every veneer part begins life in the veneer preparation area, where specialists align the grains and patterns to create a single, perfect line running through the motor car. Straight-grained woods like royal walnut, Juglans nigra, are matched in a chevron pattern at a precise 55 degrees angle. Complex patterned woods such as the walnut, Juglans regia, are laid so they form a book-matched mirror image, with the edges trimmed and sanded by hand for a precise fit. The matched veneer pieces are then bonded and pressed into larger sheets, from which all the parts for the motor car are precision cut using a laser. Each veneered part is made up of several layers, interleaved with bonded sheets and joined under heat and pressure to create a multi-layered surface with the strength and integrity to allow further work. The veneer is bonded in a heavy press to a carrier part, made of cast aluminum or composite material. All veneers are tested at high and low temperatures to ensure they will remain stable once installed in the finished motor car, regardless of the operating conditions. The part then reaches veneer finessing, where skilled craftspeople eliminate any blemishes in the veneer. They do this by cutting tiny, precisely color-matched slivers of the same veneer used in the part itself with a scalpel, then bond them in place of the blemish and seal them with a hot plate. After veneer finessing, all parts are manually sanded using an orbital sander. Knowing how much of the wood surface to remove is a matter of experience and requires a good eye and a steady hand. Delicate features like apertures for instruments are hand-sanded with sandpaper. Before progressing to the lacquering stage, each piece receives its final inspection. A highly experienced craftsperson applies a washover that temporarily imitates the final lacquered finish, enabling them to find any remaining imperfections on the surface. Everything is examined by eye. There is no technology involved. If any defects emerge, the part will be sent back to veneer finessing for further work. In the final process, multiple layers of lacquer, each only 0.3 mm thick, are applied to the veneered parts. Each layer is allowed to dry for around 20 minutes, although this will vary depending on temperature, atmospheric pressure, and other factors. With all the layers applied, the part will show a slight orange peel effect on the surface. To eliminate this, the part is sanded back and then polished to a deep, mirror shine. Open pore finishes, where the grain and texture are exposed to create a tactile sensation, are finished with a specially developed matte sealant. These veneers are made by layering and pressing natural veneer sheets into a solid block of wood at high pressure, before cutting it into thin layers, each 0.5 mm thick, which are then used to create the Rolls-Royce interior parts.